Hey everybody, if you've been keeping up with the channel, then you may remember a little Halloween video that I did at Evermore Park. In that video, I suggested that you could do a few different things at Evermore Park. You could adventure, you could explore, or you could just kind of sit and enjoy the show. Well, I thought it was high time to take a visit and see how the little old town of Evermore was doing. In case you don't know, Evermore is an immersive fantasy adventure park. It's designed to look like a little town in Victorian England in the year 1880, which just so happens to be the same year as my novel, The Crimson Inkwell. So you could say that, yeah, I'm going to be a little bit of a sucker for the time period. There's a magical portal that opens in Evermore like 3 to 4 times a year. And every time it opens, a set of different magical beings ventures through the portal and kind of interacts with all of the Everfolk, or the citizens of Evermore. In wintertime, the portal opens and connects with the world of Aurora, a magical land that's always winter. Why not go visit the Everfolk and meet the Aurorans? Sounds like a swell time. When we first got there, we sat down and enjoyed the Evermore acting troupe. They did a merry little play. It was a lot of fun, very silly, until, oh wait, that's right. It turns out one of the actors in the acting troupe happens to be a werewolf. I mean, for a town that really thrives on tourism, you think that this werewolf problem would have been maybe dealt with ahead of time, or not be open on a full moon. So after that really awkward encounter where everyone was trying to talk down the werewolf, there was a gun pulled, it got a little awkward. They escorted the werewolf away to go somewhere where they could treat him, I guess, and we decided to take a little stroll around, see if we could find some old familiar faces, meet some new friends as well. It turned out that this year there were 2 different races, or peoples, that were visiting Evermore from Aurora. The first were the Wolf Clan. The Wolf Clan seems to be like maybe a more nomadic type of people, and they look awesome. I'm just gonna say it. They look pretty awesome. Everybody really liked the Wolf Clan when we were there, because apparently there was some big fiasco with like a food shortage, and then some witches that poisoned pies with this weird compound that made everyone like kind of lose their mind, and the Wolf Clan is the one that kind of dealt with all of that, chased the witches out, you know. So everybody likes them. Then there were also the Frost Lords, and less people liked them. They were polarizing, to say the least. I mean, how do you even... You try to connect with people like that, and you're just like, my skin will never look as good as yours, because I'm not made of ice. I guess that's the secret. Make your skin ice. The Wolf Clan does not trust the Frost Lords, because apparently there was some deal with their trade routes back in Aurora. I didn't really press for details. It doesn't help either that the Frost Lords brought along this big frost giant that they wanted to just show off, some type of show and tell, I think. I don't know why they thought this was going to ease any tensions. Well, they brought the Frost Giant, and not only did the Wolf Clan not like that, the Hunters didn't like that. But the Hunters kind of just made themselves responsible for dealing with all the monsters and stuff that are going to try to attack Evermore, and so you can understand maybe they're going to be paranoid about a huge Frost Giant with weapons sticking out of it, because how are you supposed to stop that thing? In some ways I might be Team Hunters on this one. That's probably why I agreed to spy for them and try to figure out where the secret breakdown, secret weaknesses in the Frost Giant was. So I did my best undercover work, just in case the Frost Giant might get rowdy. After talking with one of the Frost Lords, or should I say Frost Ladies, turns out that the Frost Giant is ticklish. Who'd have thought? Spoiler alert. It's a little ticklish. So after I reported back to the Hunters, as I said, hey, they're ticklish. Also, it looks like they're using some type of soul mind control to control the Frost Giant. I wasn't quite sure on the details there either. But when I reported back, I found out one of the Hunters had a little bit more than hunting on his mind. I was playing blackjack in the tavern when I looked over, and he shows me this engagement ring that he's got. And I'm like, engagement ring? Jasper, what is that? He was going to propose. The next thing I know, I'm sitting in the middle of what I can only describe as like a graduation ceremony. It was an initiation type of thing where lots of people were being inducted into the Wolf Clan. It felt tribal and awesome, and I just so jealous of this guy's getup. I mean, I wish my high school graduation could have been like this. Instead of a handshake and a diploma, you got this guy staring you in the face. I mean, I wanted this guy to do any graduation ceremony that I'm ever gonna have. So cool. And that drum, they had like this big drum. I'm done. So, finally, the last person they call is the name of Jasper, who, if you remember from our Halloween video, was kind of a hero, and he got stuck inside a mausoleum with some undead, and this girl who had made a ring for him. Turns out they were, I guess, in love this whole time. You may remember her, she was holding a door closed as, like, zombies were trying to break into the tavern we were all in. He got inducted into the Wolf Clan, and immediately, first act as a new wolf, got down on a knee and put a ring on it. It was a tender moment. Also, there's something about him being a possible king in another land. You think you know a guy. All things considered, I'm exhausted, but satisfied. I can never get over the bittersweet, nostalgic feeling that I get every time I go to that place. It's almost like looking through a cheesecloth into a world that's just not quite really there. Or like waking up the next morning and feeling the absence of friends that never quite made it back to reality. I mean, it's an interesting place, and it sticks with you. Tell me what is beyond the gates, beyond the gates, beyond the gates. Tell me what is beyond the gates in Evermore today. It's hi ho hey, it's hi ho hey. Tell me what is beyond the gates in Evermore today.